Today on A Commonly Good MTG, we're playing Eriette AURAS, which once again is messing around with a bunch of different auras, but they're different auras than what we're seeing in a lot of the other aura decks out there right now. Plus, we're playing with a bunch of cards from Eldraine. So it's an interesting mix, and in my playtest so far, it's done amazingly well. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, and remember, in the immortal words of His Holiness the Space Pope, the cow says, "Moo!" Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on AetherHub, posted by Skrabstv. There we go. And this guy looks like he's got like a Twitch, and a Twitter channel, so maybe this guy is a streamer to himself. I didn't recognize that, but still, it looked like a really good deck, so we are playing it. If you are interested in this deck and things done by Skrabstv, you may want to check out his other offerings then. All right, it's called Eriette AURAS. And we got, like I said, we got a bunch of stuff from Eldraine in here, mixed together with a bunch of stuff from Duskmourn, and I love it when we can do that. We can jam a couple of things together and make it work. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the cards in this deck. We'll talk about how this deck should work, and then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here? We got whenever an enchantment enters, then we put a popo counter on a target creature. This one has flash and hexproof and gives an enchanted creature +1/+1, but hexproof till the end of the turn. So this is the temporary hexproof that saves your guy card. Plus, then you also put an extra popo counter on anything if you have Scavenger out as well. This guy comes out, and he has to put a cursed token on something. Usually, he comes out like first, so you put it on himself, in which case he's not a 3/2, he's a 1/1. But you can replace it with tokens from things like Lord Skitter's Blessing, or Witch's Vanity, or Spellbook Vendor. So therefore, you can pump this guy up to like a 4/3 pretty freaking quickly. This guy will pin down, you aura up a land, at which point then you get to pin down a creature or planeswalker. This you put onto a creature, in which case you pin down any non-land permanent an opponent controls, and that thing gets +1/+0 lifelink and ward 2. This is probably the most super-powered card in Duskmourn, in my opinion. It just does way too much for the cost. This guy comes out, has got Vigilance, and at the beginning of combat, you can pay one of any color to put a sorcerer roll on a target creature you control. So that's how you can replace the Spicemage Hage, turning him from a 1/1 to a 4/3 with just 1 mana. Lord Skitter's Blessing comes out, puts a Wicked roll on something, and then it acts as, you at the beginning of your draw step, if you control an enchanted creature, you lose 1 life and you draw additional card. So there's your card draw, which is Vanity, destroys target creature an opponent controls, the mana value 2 or less, create a food token, put a Wicked roll onto a target creature you control. Eriette, each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control cannot attack you or a planeswalker you control. We don't have anything we put onto other people, so that's not really going to help us. But the last part, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life and you gain X life, which is a number to the auras you control. And you're going to control probably 3 or 4 by the time you put her out. So that's an additional 3 or 4 life in the delta, which means 6 to 8 delta between you and your opponent at the end of every turn. And the Archon turns each of your creatures that are enchanted by auras into having a base power and toughness of 4/4, which means that their popo counters will be even greater than that. And they have flying. So this, out of nowhere, turns your guys like this guy into a 4/4 flying, even if you had the 1/1 on it. And that's fantastic. That is fantastic. All right, we got this does a point of damage to opponents when it comes in. This one, it plays fast if you play it early. And we got a bunch of regular lands on top of that. All right, so what are we going to do with this deck? We're going to get our little boys out. We're going to start throwing out auras and, clearing the board. Trying to grind down as much damage as possible. Eventually, by turns 3 and 4, we'll start rolling down Eriette or the Archon, at which point your dudes will just be flowing in for 4, 5, 6 points of damage a turn. Unable to be blocked because they'll have flying. And then we'll gain and drain with Eriette's abilities. All right, that's it. That is a lot. It is a great aggro deck. Let's go see what we can do. But before we do that, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of our hearts, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against ayeayecapn. All right, let's play with what we got. We'll see if we can pull a black along the way. Of course, I need a creature. I mean, I can't do anything without a creature, and that's the only creature I have that I can afford. All right, there's the black. Ooh, I should have put that one out. Goes to show you that I don't play the hands I'm going to get. I just play what I have. No, man, that... Oh, I'm going to freaking kill you. The black was for the right thing, and you totally screwed me over. What I get for trusting the auto picker. Let's see if we can do this. He's just playing Simic right now. X-proof, all right, that's good. All right, let's see if I can pull this stuff together. Put out this guy, that's fine. Let's go ahead and shelter him. Get rid of that guy. These are the 2, which means we could save it, and we're good. He's already got Ward 2 as it is. Yeah, okay, that's it, huh? No blocks. Let's go for the full Archon at this point. We still have the ability to keep things alive. And lifelink. Eriette coming out is going to be fantastic as well. All right, you're trying, but I will not let that happen. He's got a lot of stuff going on. There we go, man. We're still rolling it. No blocks. Have a good time. I don't think she counts. Eyes down to 4. We just picked up a bunch of life, and we win. And we win! Victory! We're playing against Bradley Michaels 007 or single 07. No blacks. Let's mulligan. All right, that's much better. Keep. And let's get rid of this one. All right, we got this card back. Don't have the ability to pay for it, so we'll just be with it as is. Next turn, we can swap them out. And it's 2. Let's just go for this. Just gotta get ourselves some extra memory or extra mana here. I think on next turn we should be good to go. That guy's a 3. We'll take him out the old-fashioned way. And we'll use that last one to pop this guy. There we go. Mana. Let's just see if we can get something better than that. What are you putting on things? Sorcerer roll. Oh, you're just going to kill that. What a jerk. All right, still hammering. We got lethal right now, which is great. If he tries to put out something cheap, we can just kill it. Someone tells me he's not going to put out something cheap. This is mana value. That guy I cannot get to. I can flip this guy up, though. He's got tons of mana. He didn't want to gift it to me. He's going for a full meal deal there. All right, let's do all of the above. Number 1. Number 2. All right, well, I can't send in the 1/1. I thought that guy was just a 3/3. All right, we're dragging him down. If you can't kill Eriette, he's dead. And we win! Boom, boom! Goes the room! Victory! And we're playing against Nice Forest 37. We got 2 creatures, 2 enchantments. All right. Guys playing full on black. And in we go. Nice to pick up another faster land at this point. That is fast. Still, I'm probably not going to do what I thought I was going to do. Swipe. Swiper, no swiping. Here we go. And 4. At least she's warded up now. I'll get rid of one of those. It's fine. All right, so we got to just play with our enchantments. That's the deal here. I'm surprised this guy doesn't have removal. What's he been doing? You just get exiling things? Ah, he's snacking everybody. Is he playing some sort of a rat deck? We're pumping people up. Let's just make you a lot better off. No. No. Okay, so the question now, is he going to try to kill off on the Optimistic? No, he's not. All right, it's down to 4. He's got to sit back and do nothing if he wants to have a chance of sticking up against what we got here. What, I had 3 lands in a row? That's ridiculous. Sure. So I'm surprised they don't, kill that one off. You get their guy back. Doesn't really matter. Tangle, tangle. All right, it's 37 to 4. He gets rats. Is the amount of damage dealt to it. So I'd be dealing a tremendous amount of damage to it. That is not right. I'm surprised you didn't block with the other. You get so many rats out of the deal. Let's pump. That's not going to help. I just need to get flying or something. Oh, we need the Archon of the Wild Rose, we need. All right, come on, give me some. None of that's good. There he is. No block. All right, so he doesn't know it, but the Archon's coming in next turn and will win. Provided I can keep one of my guys alive. One's dead. He's just got rats. I think we're cool. Except he's not enchanted. There you go, but he's tapped out. Oh, I didn't even need the Archon. Victory! Victory! I'm playing against Seaniscool. Seaniscool. 2 mana. Alright, a bunch of creatures. I'm okay with this. Keep. These Archons at 4 just seem so expensive. Off! All right, let's turn off the Wainer. All right, that's going to pump it up also to a 4, which gets us well within the range of where we could do cool stuff. Yeah, let's keep it. You got no mana. You really want to chump that with your only guy? There we go. We played nothing but blue. All right, I mean, if I put out the Archon next turn, the Witch's Vanity is going to put a dude onto the Spellbook Vendor, which means I'll have both those guys pumped up to 4s. Which means that the Optimistic Scavenger will make it up to 6. No blocks. So I'll be killing for 10 on my next turn. He's got 2. Is he going to try to do a all counterspell here. We'll let him go for it there. Nope. All right, what's coming up next? Not enough land, don't need it. We got 4, that's it. That was very disappointing. All right, it's down to 8. All right, he's got flying. He's got 2 mana. I'm thinking that Eriette might be good. I think she's only going to pop 1. We've got 1 enchantment out. Got another bounce on you. Suckerfish. Taking hits hard, that is a problem. I could do all these things, so I guess I just should. All right, so that's it. He has to block. Nope, he just took it, and he's about to die. And we win. He didn't expect it. No one expects the Spanish acquisition. All right, I'm playing against Juglar. Juglar. Oh, this is not great. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this one. Keep, and we'll get rid of one of the legends and call it good. Let's go shake our bushy tail. Steal it. Whole nother one there. Let's see what happens when I pump this guy up. 5-3, that's a good way to go. Unfortunately, I gotta put this guy out with nothing on him. He could be a chump potentially. But I like him out there. Because what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 3 according to this. We'll be able to start stealing with the area from a gain and drain. So maybe I don't want to chump. All right, we can't grab the one with ward. Oh, you can grab the stuff on the back. You can grab it. You want your other guy back? Is that the deal? He looks like he's legendary to me. That's just going to kill it. Which one do you want to keep? Can't have 2. One, 2. All right, I'm going to Archon at this point. You got reach there. Feel free to block if you'd like. And we win! In your face, Juglar. Victory! All right, so we are with Eriette AURAS. And it was a fantastic deck. Fan-freaking-tastic. What did I end up with? I got a 78% win rate off this deck. It was just all over the place. The cool thing was it's the Spiteful Hexmage. This guy wants to be a badass, but he needs to be injected with other like tokens. What are they? The roll tokens is what you need. And we have those with the Witch's Vanity and the Spellbook Vendor. And so we have multiple ways of injecting this guy, taking him being a 1/1 back up to a 3/2. And then once you put these other things back on him, he becomes even larger. He becomes, what, a 4/3. So this guy is just a really good card. It's just that you need to couple him up with another card to make that stuff happen. Unfortunately, standard auras don't bust this one. But, I mean, that's the thing about them. They kind of stick around. It's the roll tokens you got to worry about there. Still, the fact that Eriette just loves whatever's on there. I don't care if this guy's a 1/1 with a curse on him. That's a point down and a point up for me with Eriette out there. We got 4 of her, which is legendary. Usually they don't put 4 of them, but she is a monster in this deck. Well worth it. I mean, I'd say you could probably take this down to a 3 because you can't have 2 of these out at the same time. So, yeah, getting 3 of these in your deck's probably fine if you really needed it. Archon of the Wild Rose. This is another guy. He is so good in this deck because you guys are usually littered with auras. And turning him into 4/4s with flying on top of whatever they're doing otherwise is incredibly, incredibly good. Yeah, it's a nice collection. I like seeing Ossification again. The thing is when you're used to Shelter by Ghosts, which you can take out any target non-land permanent, this one only goes after creatures or planeswalkers. I just remember how horrible Ossification felt for such a long time. Now it feels horribly limited. Still, it's a good one in this deck. It's still an aura. It still helps out Eriette. Yeah, what would be the one thing I'd be looking for in here? Well, it's card draw. But where do we get the card draw from? We get it from Lord Skitter's Blessing. So that's where we get the extra card per turn. But it's not an aura. So, but still, it helps out. Does it? That's right. It's just one only deals with auras. So yeah, it doesn't help out, but it does. It injects a good roll onto your Spiteful Hexmage and gives you the card draw at the end of your turn. So it's Lord Skitter's Blessing is a great enchantment. All right, altogether, fantastic deck. Really liked it. Let's break it down. Who was our MVP? I'm going to give the MVP to Archon of the Rose. I mean, the problem is that he is the most expensive card in here, but it's 4 mana. That should not be a problem. And there's 4 of them in there, meaning we should get to him at least once during a regular game. So, and then once he comes out, your dudes are going to have auras on them. That's just the way it works out, which is going to suddenly turn your guys into 4/4s with flying, and they are not going to be able to deal with that crap. So this guy, to me, is absolutely the MVP that wins this deck, that wins the game for you. Eriette is also incredibly good. She is a bomb. And if they're not prepared to kill her with all of the auras out, she will just start ripping them apart. Each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control can't attack you or planeswalker you control. There's nothing we're doing to other people, so I'm not particularly worried about that. But yeah, it's that life gain that she really does. Still, yeah, I'm going to give it to the Archon. This guy really, really makes this deck work well. All right, so there's our MVP. Let's get on to, is this deck competitive? Yes, I'm at 78%. When I was playing it before, I took out the Pain Lands. I hate that crap. I replaced it where I'm doing deserts, paying deserts to my opponent. When I was playing it with the Pain Lands, I had 80%, but I only played it like 5 games before I gave up on that. Then went for the deserts instead. Still 80%, 78%, that's practically the same. So yeah, this is a very competitive deck. I would take this out on ranked. I didn't manage to make it over there. I don't really feel the need. I'm usually playing a lot of crap, so I don't like going over there and wasting my rank for it. But in this case, this deck reminds me of something that should do pretty well on the ladder. Number 2, was this deck fun? Absolutely. Number 1, it was aggro. Looks like it's like holding up 2 fingers saying, hey man, how's it going? Yeah, so I like the aggro aspect of it, meaning that we were starting off going for it. We had a little bit of control, so I mean, we can kind of clear the board to keep our little dudes coming in. By the time we got to mid game, we were giving super pumps to our little dudes. And that's what I liked was the growth. So it felt like we were doing things all the time. There were decisions to be made. There were choices. And we were able to inject things. It wasn't just put out dude, attack, put out dude, attack. We were literally thinking about what was happening, making decisions, and going for it. Yet it was still easy enough a play that it was going fast and we were keeping up on a good, aggressive gameplay. So yeah, this was a fun deck to play. Lastly, was this deck interesting? Right now, you know, in auras are big time. Auras are big time. The thing is, if we look at what's in here, there's only 2 out of the standard that we're seeing. And that's Shardmage's Rescue with Hexproof and Sheltered by Ghost with Exile, right? That's it. That's it. The other thing that's in here is Optimistic Scavenger, just because she's great. When you put out enchantments of any sort, you put a Popo counter on target creature. It's not just her, but anybody. Anything that has evasion on it's a good target. You know, something you just need to get pumped for whatever reason, like this guy's poor butt. That's really good. These are 3 things that are part of the new core aura. But we got a bunch of interesting cards from throughout the standard. Getting Eriette back into the mix here, big time cool. Boy, she is from Eldraine, right? And same with the Archon. So yeah, it's nice seeing. There's a lot of Eldraine cards in here, as a matter of fact. Jeez, lots of them, as a matter of fact. Yeah, this is just mixing together a little bit of the new cards with a whole bunch of Eldraine stuff. It was a good mix. It was a fun deck, and I found it to be incredibly interesting. All right, so that's pretty much the summary. Let's just summarize it all up once again. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was this deck fun? Totes McGoats. Was this deck interesting? You betcha. So that makes this into an A+ deck, and as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.